welcome to another edition of the Floatplan podcast. I'm Matt Maynard, along with my cohort and partner in crime, Tim Boyle.
Hey there.
And today we have our friends from Nautical Northwest Magazine, and we have Craig and Todd from the magazine today. And what we thought we'd do today, just give a little intro into why vendors like myself and others are excited to participate in it, and they'll go through their plans for the magazine. And there's even a little wrinkle in the end, and Todd will go over that. So why don't you guys just take a moment and introduce yourselves and give us a little background on each of you.
I'm Craig Perry. I live here in Seattle. I started boating when I was 4 years old. My folks had a marina and restaurant up in Anacortes at Skyline Marina. And every summer I would be out in my dinghy sailing. I started racing sailboats and continued that till I was about 50. And then I had kids, and I planned for them to sail to Hawaii. They got baseball in their blood. So, but I've been around the maritime industry for 65 years. So that's where I'm from.
Yeah, my name's Todd Feinroth. I live on Mercer Island, been in Seattle for 30 years. And originally from New York, learned to sail on Long Island Sound and up in Lake George in the Adirondacks. My dad taught me how to sail. Did a lot of racing back east, and then came out to California, went to school in the Bay Area, raced all the time in San Francisco Bay. And then I moved up here in 1995. Last 30 years I've been doing, working with venture capital companies to launch sales for enterprise software companies. Got into the sailing scene here and the racing scene here in Puget Sound, and ended up living on my boat for a while in LA Bay Marina. Then got into powerboating as well because my wife doesn't like sailing. So
we hear that from time to time.
Yep, pretty common.
We kind of deal in powerboats a lot around here. We love our sailing friends. We love the downtown sailing series put on by Elliott Bay. So please don't let that be discouraging to anybody with sailboats, because we're all boaters. We all enjoy the water, and we all help one another wherever we can. So give us a little background on the magazine. How did it come about? Give us a little history lesson on what was and what is now.
Well, I was the last person standing at Northwest Yachting. It went through some tough times for a while. We kept it afloat as long as we could. And January of 24, everything shuttered, and I was off doing some other things. And I heard from Todd. I got a call from Todd asking me if I wanted to think about going to work for a magazine again. A little gun shy, but the vision he put out, you'll see what it is when you get a magazine and get it in your hands.
That first issue was incredible. I think I read through that twice.
Yeah.
As we were sitting on the airplane, everybody's looking at me. So do you sell boats? No, but I'm really interested in boats. But if you get me talking, it'll be the entire trip. But I thought there was so much great stuff in there.
Yeah, it's a great vision. Yeah, so a little backstory. So I met Craig, and so I've been looking for a business to buy in the marine field for probably 5-6 years. Couldn't find anything up here in California. And then, I've been, again, 30 years in technology. I wanted to get out of it and kind of got burned out. And then I got a call from the owners of Northwest Yachting. Said, hey, we want to sell the magazine. We want you to resurrect it. And that was in the summer, late spring, early summer of 2025. There was a big problem that existed, and a void existed in the ecosystem, where the Northwest boater didn't have a voice in the area. So we basically decided, hey, can we build a magazine that is more encompassing, that takes into account all water lovers in the Pacific Northwest, not just power boaters or sailors, everybody. And then I hooked up with Norris Comer, who was the editor of Northwest Yachting magazine for about 5 years. We sat around for about 3 hours at the Sloop Tavern. We basically mapped out, what is the vision of the magazine? What do you want the magazine to be, Norris? So he basically scratched his head on the back of a napkin for 3 hours, and his vision was amazing. It encompassed, everything that water lovers want to do, from paddleboarding to sailing to, power boating. And the opportunity was that There's so much going on in the Pacific Northwest and the maritime field, but the stories are not being told. From things that are being built, people doing amazing things, that are setting world records and doing all these amazing excursions. And we want to tell those stories. At the same time, we want to help our business partners sell boats and sell boat-related items, because the magazine's free to the readership and it's funded by advertising, 100% by advertising. So we want to make sure that we're good partners, we're good community partners, telling great stories, at the same time helping people, sell their boats and sell their boat-related items. So that's the overall vision.
As you probably know, Irwin Yacht Sales has been in the marine industry for over 60 years, and we used to advertise in all the print publications, from Yachting Magazine to Sea Magazine. There was Northwesting Magazine years ago, as well as Northwest Yachting. I've only been in the industry about 25 years, but Jim Irwin, who started this, was one of the first in pretty much all of those magazines. And as things evolved, as technology evolved, and magazines slowly started kind of going by the wayside and more digital, there definitely, as Todd mentioned, was a void left. There's nothing that will replace picking up a nice publication and reading it. I mean, we all have Kindles, we all have iPads and technology, but there's still a segment that in each of us that enjoys picking up something to read, having something to touch and hold, and the pictures that comes across and what you can see in a picture versus what you see something online on the screen can be vastly different. It can be the same picture side by side, and those two pictures tell two different stories based on what you're seeing. And so when Craig came back to us and said, hey, we're going to reboot a new magazine similar to Northwest Yachting, but we're going to do it in this fashion, we were eager to jump on board, as were many in the maritime industry, because we knew that void existed. And it wasn't just about selling boats. It was about being part of the marine community. Tim and I met on boats, but obviously I'm in the boat business and Tim is in the financial world, but we're best buds. We talk boats all the time, and there's a bond among boaters, and this is one of those ties, those strings that pulls us all together, one of the lines that pulls us back. And it's been a lot of fun to watch this. You go from nothing. I mean, they had Northwest Yachting was gone, and they basically brought the magazine back to life, and it is better and bolder than it had been in the past. The articles, why don't you guys give us a little indication of kind of what we can expect to come out in terms of articles that we'll see in the future, because you guys had some really great ideas.
Yeah, it's amazing that so many great things are happening in the greater Pacific Northwest. There's the ships being built, and I'll give you a prime example. Down in Portland, there was the National Science Foundation funded a barge pier that was built by Gunderson's Ironworks down on the river. Right.
It's on Soy Island, right? I think.
Yeah, yeah. And this barge pier was meant to replace the ice pier down at the McMurdo Field Station in Antarctica. This thing's bigger than a football field. So it was built in Portland. It was towed down to Christchurch, New Zealand, and then across the Southern Ocean to Antarctica like a month ago. No one knew about this. These are, this is funded by the National Science Foundation. Amazing things that are being built around the Northwest. People doing amazing things. There's one gentleman who is paddleboarding through the Northwest Passage. And,
what?
Yeah. I mean, he's a local guy, right?
Okay.
So I'm just, when I was looking, I was talking to Norris and Craig, I was just amazed about what's happening in the greater Northwest. But no one knows about, what's being built, what people are doing crazy things, and amazing voyages, amazing boats being built. So we wanted to tell those stories. And it could be anything from new boat launchings, people doing, amazing excursions, commercial things being built, and also just great human interest stories as well. We want to try to have a very holistic view of the world across all water lovers, from paddleboarding to yachtsmen, sailors, and so forth. Right?
To scuba diving in the next issue.
Yeah, the scuba diving idea came from the guys up in Anacortes, Anacortes Yacht Charters. He's like, hey, I love the magazine. I love the first issue. but so you're all about water lovers. How about scuba diving? It's like, that's a great idea. And I don't even know how to swim. So I never thought about that, right?
So we have a guy in the marine industry doing a marine product that can't swim.
Yeah, I don't know how to swim.
We're going to have to fix that.
Yeah,
here.
we got to fix it. Yeah.
I don't think I'm going out on a boat with you again.
Yeah, well, and if you haven't noticed, today we're actually sitting on a refit 1995 Tollycraft 57 walk around, locally built in Kelso. And thank you to the owners for allowing us to be on board today. Do look for a podcast on this and similar Northwest pilot house boats in the future. In any case, so Craig, as you start to deliver these magazines, what feedback are you getting?
It's amazing. We're like long lost friends. At the Seattle Boat Show, my coined phrase was, it's the magazine the Northwest deserved for the last 20 years. It's not a slight on Northwest Yachting, but this is so much more comprehensive, so much better written. It's just night and day. I was just up in Sydney and Victoria last weekend and met with 25, 28 brokers and marinas and whatnot, and there was not one person that went, "You're from the States, I don't want it." They were just, we want more, we want more. So it was really a fun trip to be so welcomed up there.
And Timmy, from just a consumer perspective, what is you bring a different viewpoint than I bring, having been in the marine industry so long. What do you like about this magazine? What do you like about publications in general?
Well, the fact that there's something back, that you can actually grab and read. To your point earlier, it's really nice to be able to pick that magazine up and to be able to flip through it. And I think one of the coolest things for me was to see just the broad list of topics that you did discuss. And I was most excited about that Project 253. Out of everything in the entire magazine, I don't know why that caught my eye the way that it did, but to hear that story being told of young people having a career path, being able to get into the marine industry, have that be part of their curriculum, and the fact that you chose to focus on it, at the level that you did, I thought that was really cool. I read that article twice and just thought to myself, wow, I mean, they're really looking at this from a holistic perspective. So it's fun to look at boats. I mean, that's what all of us do. We used to go up to the harbor master's office and see if everybody had cleaned them out, and if that happened, you drove to fisheries immediately and hoped that they had them. So this was always a monthly thing where you'd go around chasing the magazine. And so for me, it's nice to have it back. It's nice to see so many things out there. And the fact that so many of the different vendors picked back up, to be able to see so many cool boats listed, to be able to see a lot of the products and things that are out there. I think you guys hit a home run.
Well, it was a little bit difficult at first to walk into a broker and say, "We've got an idea for this brand new magazine and it's going to be fantastic." Well, can we see it? Not yet. And the leap of faith that you took and a number of brokers and businesses took on us was outstanding. But then when they saw it in their hands and they held it, it was just like, oh my gosh, Christmas is here. Yeah. So it was good.
And a lot of that comes back to, there's a lot in the marine industry that is honestly, the marine industry is mainly relationship based. And when Craig came in and said, "Hey, this is what we're doing," I don't think there was any hesitation. Just count us in, as did a lot of the other brokers in the area, and a lot of the other marine businesses. We've been craving for something come back. Everything went digital. There's something about having a print publication. And mind you, there will never be the number that there once were. Advertising media has changed, but there's always going to be room and a need for a print publication of some sort. And to see how this has come together, it's so much fun to watch from this side of it, because it comes and, Craig, you come in the door, and of course Wilson and Ollie come and greet you enthusiastically.
Of course.
Every time.
Best dogs on the route.
Oh, they're pretty funny. But the content is really what's driving all of this. And yes, we do advertise, and every business owner has to look at that. But it also is part, I think, with myself and a lot of marine businesses, it's partially giving back so that we can hear these stories. Project 253, that is a great example. Who else? But you don't hear about that anywhere.
And it's sorely needed. There's not enough skilled workforce out there. I mean, you talk to any of the repair yards, they just can't get enough qualified people to work. So
We have clients that have dealt with pretty much every boatyard. We know pretty much every boatyard owner, everything in the area. And they are scrambling to find good people. And those are, on top of good people, those are really good jobs,
Yep.
well-paying jobs, better than most people probably realize. Lots of room for advancement. And it's really a segment of the market that we are solely and desperately seeking good people. And I can tell you the guys at CSR, the guys at S3, the guys at Pacific Coast Yachting, the guys down in Nordland, they are great people. Gig Harbor Boatyard, we can keep going and going. Those are all great facilities, and they are all hiring people. And we need that story told, and that is exactly what was told in your guys' magazine in that article.
oh, it's great.
Yeah, there's something, there's a sea change taking place in the digital world now called return to touch. And we've all been ingrained in the whole digital world, kind of impersonal. But this has been written about by digital publications in the last probably year or so, where people want to get the pendulum is swinging back. People want to be able to have face-to-face meetings, touch and feel a magazine that they feel connected to. And the vendors and the business people, when they advertise only digitally on Facebook, Instagram, Google, and so forth, they're losing that intimacy with the customer, and they're not targeting the people in their own backyard. And I think that this magazine kind of brings people together, especially in the greater Northwest, and they're seeing that level of intimacy kind of reform by having something that they can touch and feel and have this more in-person connection.
One of the things we should talk about is your distribution, because obviously that is always the challenge. That's the number that business owners like myself go to. Hey, what is your distribution? How many people are you reaching? What are you doing to increase that to get, because you need to have some sort of return on investment.
Yeah, so our reach is geographically, it's obviously all of Washington. We're actually down in Oregon. Right now it's northern Oregon. We're going to be going down the coast of Oregon and probably in the summertime. We're as far east as Idaho. It's amazing what's happening in northern Idaho. There's like 92 marine businesses in Idaho. People are building amazing boats over there. We go there at least once a month, and we have a rep assigned to Oregon, Idaho, and Spokane as well. And now, as Craig mentioned, we're up into Canada, so we're in Vancouver and Victoria specifically. We print between 5,000 and 7,000 copies in issue, and our issues are coming out 6 times a year, so not monthly, because that gives us time to build, the quality of product that you guys want to see, 80 to 100 pages, right? We're even down in California now, so a lot of my advertising brokers that they're based in California, they have offices up here, but they want to have that exposure in California, northern and southern. So now we're shipping magazines down to West Marines down there, brokerages, restaurants, all waterfront entities from San Diego up to Sausalito.
And no offense to our California friends and brokers, the boating up in the Northwest is a different type of boating than what you typically get down there. The destinations we have, we love our California partners, love our California clients. We many times have California buyers that come up here with intentions to bring their boats back down to California. They get a little taste of the San Juans, they get a little taste of the Gulf Islands, and they hit desolation. At that point, it's over, the warm water. But speaking of desolation, in ways to get up there, there's only 2 ways to get to Desolation Sound in that general area of the Broughton's, and that's by boat and by seaplane. And now I think you guys have that covered as well, don't you?
There's the wrinkle.
Oh, there's another one.
There's another one.
We got another one coming. Just wait.
Yeah, it was amazing. Back in November of 2025, before the magazine actually came out, I just contacted the folks at Kenmore, the president, David, and the head of marketing, Scott Meese, and I sent them a cold email and a phone call. I told them what we're building, and they never saw a magazine, and they never saw any asset about the magazine, and they immediately signed up. Say, hey, we'll place your magazine in all 25 Kenmore planes in the seatbacks, in all 7 or 8 passenger terminals, right? In exchange, we'll obviously do an in-kind trade for an ad, 6 times a year.
Sure.
But I was amazed that this company took a bet on us without seeing the product, right? And it was just a vision that that we all have, and we showed them a media kit in a rate card, and they said, yeah, we'll sign up. And and we deliver the magazines, and we put them in all the airport, all the terminals, passenger terminals. Craig goes to all the terminals. They're up in all the airplanes now. Now we're increasing that reach as the summertime, we get into full swing.
The magazines are disappearing from the seat backs.
Yeah.
As they should.
Which
As
is a
they
good
Well,
should.
it's a great thing.
Yeah.
You're hitting a demographic that if they can fly up to the San Juans or Desolation Sound, boat people ought to be excited about that because you get your ads in front of those people who.
Think we'll get an article about Kenmore and the history of Kenmore in the future. Could be something that we could.
Yeah.
We'd love to see it. It's a great story
Yeah.
about and just float planes in the Northwest and how they're used and. There's so much that happens up here. We have people that come in from out of the area, and we've done the simple Kenmore float plane tours. And I'll tell you, if you haven't done it, even as a local, it is a lot of fun. They do a really cool narrated tour. We took our oldest on it. We're going to take our youngest on it as well, and one of the special trips or a birthday trip. And it's really neat. But to also see these magazines in the back of Kenmore already is really a testament to the relationships that you guys have built. Again, the ties that bind in the marine industry. That's what kind of has brought us all together, which has been a lot of fun.
It's amazing. You talk about the reach and our reach out in the area. There's a metric that I'm learning called the pass along rate of a magazine, right? So I sat in a couple of diners, the local diners and pubs in the area who actually have the magazine. I was there for like 2-3 hours, and I put about 3-4 copies out on the tables, and I sat there just in the corner watching people. They look at the magazine, and then they have a beer, and then they leave the table. Somebody else comes around, So there's the pass along rate of our magazine is probably like 3x. So if you have a 7,000 copy distribution, 2-3x of that is actually the reach that we're getting. So it can reach 15,000-20,000 people.
And it's only going to get better because people are finding out about the magazine. It's got legs and it's really rolling right now.
A lady came up to us at the boat show. She was in an Uber coming from either I think from the airport, and the Uber driver told his passenger who's going to the boat show in Uber says, "Oh, make sure you stop by the Nautical Northwest booth." And she shows up here. I said, "How'd you hear about it?" It's like, "Oh, my Uber driver just told me to stop by here." And this is during the boat show. I was like, that's just crazy, right?
You're pretty new for that. How?
I
mean,
don't
you almost
know.
want to send a thank you card to the Uber driver.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing that people are just it's organic. It's becoming viral over time. It's a lot of work, but it's I think we're serving a need that people they want to read this thing. And I got a note from the fire chief up in Marysville. He says, "Todd, I haven't read a magazine cover to cover in 12 years. I got your magazine at Shoal. I read it like 4 or 5 times, and I'm going to keep it all summer on my boat."
Yeah.
So if they're reading it cover to cover multiple times, they're going to see your ad multiple times as well. So I think it's all goodness. Yeah.
Speaking of the pass-through rate at restaurants and bars, one place to have you talked to the guys over at Vula's Offshore Cafe yet? Nico and Psyche, and occasionally Vula's there as well. That would be one to pass along.
Yeah.
They're huge
I
supporters.
know them well.
Yeah, they are huge supporters of the marine industry.
Yep.
Good people, great food, and just
Yeah.
Nico and Psyche are hilarious.
Amazing breakfast over there. Yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It's definitely a lot of fun. We'll have
Yeah.
to do one of these podcasts over there.
Oh God,
Just
that would be fun.
as a
Yeah.
destination. That and probably we'll talk to the guys over at Ivers as well.
No, only from the VIP boat show nights at Irwin, because that's who he has catering
Yeah.
at the time.
They are amazing.
Probably the best breakfast in Seattle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
The hobo can't go wrong with the hobo.
Yeah.
So,
True
but
stuff.
definitely. So what's in the future for Nautical Northwest? Where do you see this magazine going long term?
I think it's early days for us. We're cranking out our 3rd issue. Comes out May 1. I think there's so many opportunities just in the Northwest to sell, to get more advertisers on board. We're definitely going to expand into more of the lifestyle, aspects as well. Real estate agents, maybe, jewelers. We're getting wineries on board now because obviously people are flying up on Kenmore. They're going up to San Juan Islands and so forth. We have a culinary column, that has a wine pairing as part of it that Bill Shaw does from Roche Harbor. So we're definitely expanding more the lifestyle luxe brands that complement the maritime and the nautical themes. Our magazine is making its way even back east. We have some of our yacht broker partners have offices back east, and they want those folks to come out here and charter boats, in an inside passage, right? So the magazine is going to be back in Rhode Island, Florida, Maine, starting this summer. So I think we want to grow the advertising base. We want to grow the storylines. So I think we have a lot to do, to make sure we're covering, all the great things that are happening in Northwest, at the same time building the advertising base. And then next year, I think we'll probably delve more deeper into Canada as well, and probably go down the coast of Oregon.
The magazine is not going to ever become stale because Norris, our editor, knows everybody in the maritime industry, and he's got so many stories in the can, ready to go.
Yeah.
He's just so passionate about it. So much fun to talk to him when things are going on. The magazine will not get stale.
He unearths these amazing stories, people, things that are being built, things that are happening. It's incredible, and so we look forward to it. We want to build a magazine that people are going to pick up and read, right? And if they read it, they're going to see advertisements and support our business partners, right? So that's the goal. It's a pretty simple model.
And with Norris around too, I mean, this isn't something that AI can pick up and write,
right?
Or come up with the ideas, or know what's being built, or who to talk to. You can definitely hear him as you read the magazine.
Yeah, you brought up a good point. And Norris actually shared with me. There's some large organizations that own several titles of maritime nautical magazines, and they're investing more in AI to write that copy and that content. And people see that, right? And it's very inauthentic. And our publication is very authentic, and to the Northwest. So we try to stay very true to that mission, and that really comes from Norris's vision.
Yeah.
Speaking of AI, here's the other wrinkle. So Todd also has another venture that he is partnering with brokers and boat dealers on, and it is in the development stage now, building steam similar to the magazine. As you probably know, and as most people are familiar with Yacht World and Boat Trader and Boats Group, it is owned by one large private equity firm and has been bought and sold a number of times over the years, and has kind of left their customer base lagging, to say the least. They're more focused on the revenue generated than actually delivering a very good customer experience, end user experience. Todd, with his experience in the tech world, saw an opportunity here. This was the wrinkle. So why don't you give us a little insight into what you have coming?
Yeah, so as I was selling advertising to folks like you, Matt, and other brokers, I found a problem that was very common in the brokerage industry and the boat deal industry, and that was they're all in Yacht World, right? They've been there for 25, 30 years. It's very expensive for the subscription fee. More importantly, the user experience for the broker and for the consumer is very subpar. It hasn't changed. The technology hasn't changed in 30 years. You do keyword searches to search for boats. You do a fastest search and so forth, and it's become very inaccurate. And people really can't find the boats they're looking for. They can't find the boats that they're selling, that they're advertising through brokers and so forth. So we wanted to build something that was a vast improvement for the users, for how to search for boats, and how to find boats that they want, and obviously how the brokers can build listings and manage listings and make that much more efficient, and that user experience as well. Because we want you guys, actually out there selling boats, not building listings and managing all the minutia and administrivia, behind building a listing and managing a listing. So we built a product called boatsandbrokers.ai. We built it over like a 5-month period. One developer, and he actually works in the tech business down in the Bay Area. He built it from scratch and started back in, I think, October, November. And it's a working product now. We've been demoing the product to several brokers within the Pacific Northwest in California. We're going to be releasing it to the public in May. out into the world, and put up an awareness campaign to drive consumers, to start looking at these boats that are coming online. Basically, we want to disrupt this entire, we think, archaic and antiquated value chain.
Monopoly.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Very monopolistic tendencies, and it's all AI powered. That gives a ton of efficiency to the brokers who are building these listings, which could take hours and hours to build, right? And the user experience for the consumer, they can search boats, much more efficiently, much more aesthetically pleasing user experience for them, and hopefully that'll disrupt, kind of a 30-year-old archaic industry. And economically, we're going to be literally a 95% discount from what Yacht World is charging these brokers today, which is just, really it's abhorrent how much they're charging the brokerage community.
I spoke to a broker yesterday who said that Yacht World is forcing him out. It's so expensive that he can't keep going. So this is his last year. And it's just...
That's tough.
Yeah. It's a nice little brokerage, but he can't do it. I hear stories of thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. That's not exaggerating, right?
It is not.
It's really... So what Todd's offering
But
is...
everybody looks. I mean, at our house, it's 4 days a week, 5 days a week. It's just whether Jenny brings it up or I do. Have you seen what's new on Yacht World between 55 and 68 feet?
Yeah.
That's because
that's
the only place you could look.
it's the only place you can look.
Yeah.
Everybody's...
Jim Irwin was one of the first 5 people on Yacht World when it was owned by Jessica Muffet, before it became the iteration that it is today. And there was a point in time where it was client focused on the end user, so we could get the information out. And it's changed dramatically over the years, and I don't need to go into all the specifics on that, but the new platform, we're excited to be a part of that. They came to us and we spent about 2.5 hours going through it, and just the focus, frankly, was on making sure that the consumer got the information that they wanted. So displaying it in a certain way, displaying it, getting the right pictures, the right videos, what makes sense, what does the consumer want to see. It wasn't about how much can we collect on this, it was what can we deliver to the consumer in a way that's efficient. So that was a little wrinkle at the end. That's just a little teaser as to what's to come. But as Todd and Craig said, this is encompassing everything in the marine industry, the magazine, the internet, people. It always comes back to the people in the end. So that's why we're here. That's what Timmy and I are doing this podcast for. It's supposed to be about the people, about the industry. We enjoy this. This is a lot of fun. We get to meet the coolest people. We get to hang out with the coolest people on really cool boats.
Yeah.
Well, let's do a demo of the new tool.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready and you've got time, I think
Yeah.
it'd be really cool to walk
Yeah.
through it and be able to get that out to our distribution audience as well.
Say, working with Matt and Paul Grossbeck and a number of other brokers, we built this tool. We're only building features and functionality that the brokers and the consumers want. That's it. We're not building this thing in a vacuum. So I think that's why I think we hit a chord, and so we're going to stay true to that mission. And I think that's why it's going to be successful, and it'll iterate over time. But yeah, we'd love to do a demo of the product. We're demoing to the board of NIBA April 8th, and then we're demoing to the also to the board of California Yacht Broker Associations in April. So if we get those sponsorships, that'll help, kind of spread the word.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know what NIBA was, that's it's okay. It's
Right,
the Northwest Yacht Brokers Association. It's just the group of brokers that make up and actually put on the Boats Afloat show. But it's a group of brokers that are here to promote the marine industry and protect the consumer, and that have agreed to subscribe to specific bylaws and ethical guidelines. So when you're actually out shopping for a boat, look for a brokerage that is part of the Northwest Yacht Brokers Association, or if you're in another state, whoever your local brokers association is. And also look for that certified professional yacht broker stamp with your broker. That means they've gone through additional and continuing education as part of it. Just a little insight, whoever you use, there are a lot of really good brokers out there. Stick with one of those guys or girls. There's a number of fantastic brokers that are members of these associations, and definitely try to stick with them. They will look after you.
And back to the magazine, just real quick on the advertising front. You know, you talked about you've got the Lux brands that are coming in, and there's a lot of discretionary income that lives around the water. You know, and has this as a hobby. So, is there anybody that you think should be looking at the magazine and advertising? Is there anybody that you'd exclude and say you might not be a good fit?
Yeah, I think we want to strike a balance. I mean, this is a nautical magazine, a nautical lifestyle magazine. You know, we don't want to, deluge the magazine with non-nautical brands. But I think there are complementary brands. Like people are coming to us. Wineries are coming to us, want to advertise. Galleries, jewelers, and so forth. So 'cause they want access to this audience, right? So, but it'll always be a balance. But we want to stay true to our mission in our community. All the vendors, obviously the boat manufacturers, the boat brokers, the people who build these products that support the maritime industry. We want them, obviously, that's our true audience, true customer. There's hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of these businesses around the greater Northwest that we want to promote, right? It marries up to the content. As long as people want to pick up the magazine and read great stories, then they'll see these ads and they'll hopefully transact, buy boats and other boat related items.
Yeah,
There's all kinds of great articles that people don't expect. Norris has started one on shipwrecks on the Washington coast.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And so each month there's going to be a wreck featured. The first one came out this last issue, and it's pretty funny when you start reading it. There's stuff about orca whales. There's junior sailing. It just does the whole gambit.
The mosquito fleet.
Yeah.
We actually sold a boat a couple of years ago to a family. It was lovingly restored by a gentleman in Gig Harbor and used as a family, basically a family home on the water that they could go to. And they took one of the old mosquito boats and converted it to basically a live aboard apartment. Well, actually 2 apartments, and it was so cool. And it was bought by a family, moved down to Olympia, named the Concordia. It's down there now. Yeah. It's such a cool deal. It's living apartment up top, nice huge living room, dining room, big galley, bunk beds in the back for kids. It was all family. The whole boat was designed for family. The motor was removed, engine was removed, all the running gear. So it's basically just a floating condo. But it's still a boat and registered as a boat. It's a pretty neat experience. And
Hello, Norris.
Yeah.
If you actually go to our YouTube site, you'll actually see a video on it, and
very cool.
It's pretty neat. And it'd be cool to do an article on it. And the family living aboard now, super cool family.
Yeah.
So those are the type of stories I think we'll see in your magazine more and more.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So we're excited. I think we're filling a void, and we want to make sure we be a great community steward, to the maritime industry and the greater readership at large as well. So
I have to tell you, it's so gratifying to come into a customer and they're waiting there for you. What do you got? What do you got? And I have not had one negative comment in all the places I've been.
That's great.
Everybody is just really enthused about having a magazine, and that makes going to work, which doesn't make it feel like work, but that gives you the jumps to get out there and go spread the word. So
yeah. And we have a digital component as well. So, the magazine has the e-flip version on the website. So if you're into that, then you have access to that. I mean, we archive every issue, so I think we cover the gamut.
Get the full spectrum.
And where can people pick it up? Just rattle off 5 or 10.
Irwin Yachts.
I love it.
Anywhere around Lake Union, anywhere, the yacht clubs, up in the San Juans, there's a number of spots. The Wooden Boat Museum, out at Shoal, Fishery Supply,
West Marine, probably.
West Marine, yep. I mean, so they're easily found. And in the magazine, in the back, there's a complete list of all the places that you can pick the magazine up.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to put additional pages in there going I would imagine that you can't have too many pages of where you can pick it. You're going to run out of room before too long.
You just make the font smaller.
Okay.
Yeah. We even have people who actually they live locally, but they want a subscription. So so they can go online and for like $40 a year, get a paid subscription, have it mailed anywhere. A lot of folks live in Arizona, Colorado, even even locally if they want it. So.
Can I interest you in a subscription?
I'm here plenty.
yeah.
Cool. Well, we thank you guys for coming today. Definitely
Thanks.
a lot of fun.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for hosting us. This has been awesome.
All right. So look for Northwest Nautical and your favorite marine location. All right, guys. Have a great day.
All right.
Thank you.